as far as our team's concerned, we're excited. Obviously, you turn the page quickly, move on to another tough opponent. TCU is a team that very senior, junior dominated team, plays very, very hard, very aggressively, and certainly last year probably handed us one of the most disappointing home losses in my tenure at Iowa State. So we need to be ready to go. It's a big week for us. So excited where we are, but a lot of work to do, as we all know. But we had yesterday off, and we'll get back to practice this afternoon and hopefully be ready to go Wednesday night.
And what do you see in TCU? Are you concerned about Jordan Moore? She had a big game against you all last
Yeah,
year.
I mean, Jordan Moore is a very, very good player, and obviously had 26 yesterday against Oklahoma State. She's a tremendous physical presence on the block, and they do a lot of good stuff to get her the ball at the right time. She's very economical. It's not just she scores points. I mean, she's shooting like 67% from the field, so she's making the shots she should get. She rebounds. But I think their versatility on offense, again, I think for the kids that started in the game here last year are back, and they've added some pieces, and they can score it in a lot of different ways. And their defense is maybe the most unique in our league. They play a lot. I mean, they're going to play man, they're going to play zone, they're going to every press you can think of. They change defenses a lot. They're a little bit more multifaceted on the defensive end, but ultra aggressive, ultra physical, and we're going to have to handle it a lot better than we did last year. And we saw a little bit of it in KU. I mean, as far as teams that are going to really get up into you and try and turn you over. And I thought we handled it for the most part okay Saturday, but we're going to see a lot of different things Wednesday night. So, and that's always hard because you have 2 days to practice, and your practices now are 45 minutes to an hour. So you can't cover everything. So you have to kind of go back to your fundamentals, and hopefully that'll be good enough for us.
Is there anything you're going to do against Moore specifically? Against Iowa, you kind of double down a little bit on Gustafson, something like that, or just kind of one-on-one in the block?
We're going to try a lot of different things. I think all good post players, I think you have to change it up. I think, they, especially seniors, they know when the double's coming, when it's not coming. Some of it will depend on the flow of the game. Their personnel groupings are different. They play a lot of different players and a lot of different, as I said, groupings of players together. So that creates a problem as to is she the only post player in the game? Do they play, a couple other kids with her? So, I think the biggest thing is whenever you get into these kind of games and when you get into the conference, your number one thing is, take away what you can. Don't commit a silly foul. Don't give up offensive rebounds. Things that maybe you can control a little bit. The kid averages what she averages for a reason, and you're not going to take that away from them. But, it can't be 26 points, hopefully. If it's 26, you're in for a long night. So hopefully we'll be better than that.
I've got to keep asking as long as it keeps happening. But in the second quarter, you guys keep pulling away after a neck-and-neck first quarter. What's happening in that timeout between the two?
I wish I knew. I think that our team probably does a pretty good job, I would say a very good job, of understanding the flow of the game once they're in the game. There's things that you'd like to start better. In the KU game, we talked a lot about they were +8 and +7 in the first 2 quarters. So, our goal was to, on the road, first quarter, be around, and it was a tie, and I thought that was great. And then the second quarter, I think our team, I really think because of Lex and Bridget especially, they get a good sense of where the options are offensively, and then defensively, maybe we made a couple slight adjustments, matchups, and kind of how we handled their ball screens a little bit. But yeah, it's been kind of one of those weird phenomena that the second quarter has been really good to us, but. Consistency quarter to quarter, and that's now that we play 4 quarters, that's kind of one of those things like win every quarter. And like I've said many times, I'm not the smartest guy, but I think if you win every quarter, you probably win the game. So, we've tried to take that stance with our players, and for some reason, the second quarter has been a good one.
On Saturday, how did you feel like Maddie did guarding Jessica Washington? And would you say Maddie's your best perimeter defender?
I thought Maddie did a great job. Jessica Washington is a tough cover. I mean, she's so good with the ball. She's always moving. She can shoot the three. She's got the little floater. I mean, that was a tough assignment. And I do think some of the offensive woes or some of the shootings, I don't want to call it a slump, but some of the things she's going through is because we've asked her to do so much defensively. That takes a lot out of you, and you're so focused on that. I think she and Bridget both can be really good defenders. I think Lex has really improved the last couple of weeks, but we've asked Maddie to cover some really great players, and certainly Jessica Washington is as dynamic as they come, and especially 2 years ago, we know she put 36 on us, so we had a front row seat for that show. So luckily, it wasn't quite that big on Saturday.
And how did it feel to get the first road win?
No, it was great. Obviously, that's one of those things that I remember when Coach Floyd was here. He had his own little plus and minus system, and if you win a home game, you get a 0. If you lose a road game, you get a 0. It's nice to have a +1. You don't get many of those, and we played 3 road games, and the combined number of losses at home by those teams is now 1. South Dakota's undefeated at home. They just beat South Dakota State. Iowa's undefeated at home, and Kansas just lost their first home game. So we've played 3 true road games, and we've been in every one of them, and luckily we won one of them. And I'm more excited it was a conference game because I think Kansas is going to be a really tough out for people in this league. And I said that preseason, and I feel even more that way after sitting there for 40 minutes watching them play. So it's great for our kids. It was a great week to start the season. It was fun to see Steve's team get off the way they did and, have a road win. And, it's one of those days, we take great pride here in what we do as a department and as an athletic team and family. And, when you see Coach Campbell tweeting out about our team and the men's team, but it's a fun day when Iowa State women's basketball and men's basketball beats Kansas. That's a fun day. Those are good days that don't happen very often, and it was fun that we got back in time to at least see the end of it. So great win for Steve, and certainly wish them luck tomorrow at Baylor.
How important is it for you guys as conference play goes on to continue to keep Kristen going and get that bench production? Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be hard to play better than 7 for 7 and 3 for 3, but no, I don't think there's any doubt that what Kristen and Inez did on Saturday was big. I thought Ray was really good. I thought AD was good. As the season goes on and the wear and tear gets to you, foul trouble gets to you, there's going to be an injury somewhere. You want those kids to feel comfortable in their role and the way they can contribute. And I thought all of them did that on Saturday. There was not a whistle in that game until 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. So literally, there was no. I mean, I've never seen that before. We had 4 kids set the scores table. I think they almost fell asleep. They were there so long, and my staff's like, let's just foul them. Let's just foul them. Stop the game. But so then that meant not only did we have to get our starters out, but we had to have kids go in the game for an extended amount of time that they normally wouldn't. So I have great confidence in all those kids, and they're and I've said this many times. If we have a great year at the end of the year, AD is going to win us a game, Ray's going to win us a game, Nia's going to win us a game, Inez is going to win us a game. Those are the seasons at the end when you look back where someone steps up and does something special. And we give them a lot of time in practice, and hopefully that's paying off or will pay off down the road.